Okay, I now call to order the meeting for the Somerton Parks and Rec Commission on December 16th at 6:04 p.m. Commissioner Vasquez, if you'll lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes. The flag of the United States.
Thank you. Moving on to
Commission Chair Jesus Cervantes.
Present.
Commission Vice Chair Olegario Zazueta.
Present.
Commission Secretary Francisco Vasquez.
Present.
Commission Member Juan Duran.
Present.
Present. And Commission Member Joanna Eso.
Present.
Commission Chair, we have a quorum.
Thank you. Moving on to call to the public. This is a time for the public to comment. Members of the Parks and Recreation Commission may not discuss items not specifically identified on the agenda, limited to directing staff to study the matter, responding to any criticism, or scheduling matters for further consideration or decision later. We do not have any members of the public present, and I did check our email at 4:30 prior to coming over, and there were no call to the public comments listed. As a reminder to the public, you can always send call to the public items to our email at Somerton_PRC@outlook.com. Moving on to old business, Parks and Recreation Department updates.
Good evening, Commission Chair, Vice Chair, and members. This was Master Parks and Recreation Director. At the moment, we have a few updates. The department has been running as usual. We started our emergency preparedness plan. We updated and came back to the staggered schedules starting this Monday. Due to the COVID, we had to do some changes and work from home and alternating the schedules for the parks maintenance staff. Also, the Recreation Division has been working on some virtual activities that are one of them I'm going to cover in another item during this meeting, and also assisting with the other divisions and the light parade. It went real well. They were a key part of this event, along with parks, the setup. Mr. Rodney Breinhardt, as always, he's a core element of our department. He assisted Ms. Lisa really well, and she coordinated a pretty awesome light parade. It was improvised, short notice, and we were happy to see that the city responded so well, along with the departments and some nonprofits. And also the projects, we met with Nicholas Engineering. They're going to be overseeing the blueprint and design work for the HVAC system for the community center. We have an RFQ with them already established on the city, so we were able to work with them for engineering services. And they're also going to take care of the skate park design. That's already on the works. So that's one of our main projects right now.
Any questions or comments for under old business? Okay, moving on to new business. Item number 2, discussion and possible recommendation on T-Mobile proposal for easement behind Joanne's Ball Field. Mr. Mesa.
Hello, this is Mr. Parks and Recreation Director. Before you have an item discussing a possible easement requested by T-Mobile to be basically constructed behind the center field line. And you know, if you're able to see my screen at home, I'm sharing my screen for basically a blueprint of the proposal by T-Mobile. Yeah. And as I mentioned, the proposal by T-Mobile is to add an additional easement to their tower, which would not affect our operations, maintenance, recreational wise. It's basically a section that's not being utilized for any type of programming or maintenance, but it is an additional segment of land that they would, we would have an easement with them, and this agreement would perpetually help the city economically in terms of $12,000 that have been proposed and accepted by T-Mobile to allow us to, or the city to allow them to add this easement to run some 5G service on this tower behind, as mentioned, from Joe Munoz ball field. Any questions to this moment?
Jesus, this is
Yeah.
I have a question. I can't see the plants very well, but are they gonna add another tower or just running more lines?
Yeah, it's basically running more line. And that's the intent behind this new easement agreement with T-Mobile.
So is that gonna give them green light in the future to add another tower? My main concern is if they add another tower, it needs to be similar to what they already have. Something at least disguised as a tree or something, not make it so plain and just have a big old metal pole out there.
That's a good question. Actually, this would only be for additional wiring to extend their easement, because they're trying to add more cable for the 5G service. They're running basically fiber optic, so they need additional space. But it wouldn't interfere in terms of adding an additional tower. That would be a separate agreement and a separate proposal. But I mean, this is basically for the easement, and it would be they're asking by an 8-foot by 160-foot long of telecom easement. It's only to run some fiber optic cable for their next generation 5G service. That's the official description. As a department, personally, as the Parks and Rec director, I don't foresee any issues in terms of them having any problems with their irrigation system. It's not going to affect us with our programming or any of our operations. And the money's requested and confirmed by T-Mobile would be used for the skate park. So that would add an additional $12,000 for a skate park, which would be something considerable for additional upgrades and to just basically deliver a better quality product for the city.
One question,
Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus, this is Somerton again. Last year, I think it was around this time, they did some work done around the tower, the current tower they have, and they broke quite a bit of concrete out there. Did that ever get fixed? And I'm saying because you can see the tracks of the tractor that went across the concrete, and I can tell it was fairly fresh. The cracks in the broken concrete.
Yeah, it was actually due to some maintenance that was being held by the tower, by this company. But I mean, it hasn't been fixed, but that's going to be included on the negotiation, or it could be fixed with the money that they're going to disperse for this.
It was something they cost. Why should it be coming out of any new budget? That was something they cost last time they were working on their tower. I have the pictures, and there I can check the dates, and you can see the cracks. It was new.
Yeah, actually, we did reach out to them. It was a while ago, I believe, and it still hasn't been fixed. And that the communication between us and this company was that they were going to take care of it. but still basically on the works. But they did mention that they were going to take care of it because it was their problem, and they caused this by the maintenance or just an issue with the equipment.
So my concern there would be it shouldn't come out of any new agreement with them. That should have been taken care of when the problem was created. And it creates a tripping hazard out there. I mean, I'm surprised nobody has called in or if people had hurt out there because it was significant.
I agree. Yeah, they should be responsible and liable for it, and because it wasn't really the city staff that caused it or anything else, any natural cause. And I'm gonna make a note on that and follow up on this item, and I'm pretty sure they're gonna take care of it. That was the past communication we had with them, and they mentioned they were gonna take care of this issue.
Okay, that was just my main concern about that. Thank you.
I have a question. What about fencing? Are we running the chance that they may fence the easement that they're requesting? Because it's going to be their property now.
We actually wouldn't need any type of fencing there.
No, but if they choose to actually, if they choose to actually put up fencing, can they do that under the grid?
No, this would only be for the fiber optic.
It's going to be underground?
Yeah, it's going to be underground.
It's going to be paved on top of that.
Yes.
So
it's going to be basically covered, and then it's not going to be an issue. Now, there's any questions? I mean, the money, it's a good situation for us. It's a department that it's going to stay in our department. It's going to be used for the amenities in the facilities. It's not going to go to the general fund. We were looking at hopefully getting more contribution for them, but this was basically the negotiation, and as a department, I mean, any type of additional funding would help this project or any other projects for this case.
Yeah, I guess in general, kind of echoing what
Commissioner says, what touched on, if the stipulation can be added to either the
easement approval
or contract
in regards to if they do maintenance and or construction, that they need to leave it as was or better, so that we don't run across situations like this where it takes forever to get a small concrete slab
basically repoured and fixed, because it does increase the city's liability, and
as far as someone being out there and tripping over it, having a bad accident and having it turn into a PR disaster, not only
public relations wide, but financial wide. So I think if it is going to be an underground utility, there should be no real impact to the park
itself. But once again, if
you are able to
follow or add that stipulation that they,
anytime they do maintenance or work, that they need to leave it as was or better, so that we don't run across situations like the current one. And I know companies are busy. I mean, in the past,
ATS has took like almost a year and a half to replace a burnt out bulb at the park. But once again, that kind of goes back to the city being on top of that as far as what's in the contracts and I guess MOUs that are established with companies like this. That's my only input I have on this discussion item.
Yes, I mean, City Council is looking for some type of recommendation from the Parks and Recreation Commission on this item. As I mentioned, this would be only for this additional easement, which is going to be underground utility, like Mr. Commission Chair Cervantes mentioned. It's not going to affect anything really for us in terms of programming or for maintenance. It's not an area that we're currently using for any type of operation or programming matter. So it's basically something that we could benefit from if we move forward with it. Also, the only condition that they are, or that it's the implication here is that we're not going to be able to build anything on top of this easement. But it's not an area where we're actually going to build anything. It's behind the left center field fence. I mean, it's not an area where we're going to use for any type of programming. It's a safety concern because there can always be some balls hit over the fence or something like that. So it's not an area where we're actually going to use. The skate park would be a little bit more towards the park, at least 30 feet from the fence, and so it's a lot safer and farther away from the fence. And that's basically behind the fence, so it doesn't affect us at all.
I think overall, it's beneficial to us. And if it's going to create a little bit of extra money that comes in. But since they are taking a little bit from our parks, with that money we allocated for parks every year.
Yeah, that's the actual contribution that is being mentioned is 12 grand total. Well, it's going to be basically one check, and that's on an initial investment.
Wow, that's we are getting a great bargain because it's 8 by 160.
168.
Yeah, it's 8 by.
That's a rectangle area. Okay?
Yeah.
8 by.
Geez, so it's like from here to, what is it? Across the
length of this bill.
for $12,000.
Once you create an easement,
Mm-hmm.
until the actual easement holder leaves it off, it's gonna be there forever.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's actually mentioned the word perpetual.
Yeah.
For $12,000.
And are we gonna charge them anything for them to dig around it? Because I mean, I'm sure whatever machine they're using is gonna take more space than 8 feet. Every time we do plans and we have to work around the right of way, we have to pay to work outside that right of way. And I don't know how much land's going for, but $12,000 seems very, very little and limited us to do any future around that. Because what can we do around those 8 feet? Are we limited to only those 8 feet? I mean, you're gonna have later on probably more lines going out there, water lines, anything. I mean, that's something to really think about. And I can't really see the plans and say, you know what, they're against the fence, where it's not gonna be anything.
We show you the second.
Okay. That was much better. Now it's
Yeah, it's basically behind the left field fence. Yeah.
It looks like it's running between the current sidewalk that's out there and the fence.
Yeah, and it's between that same tower, so they're gonna basically run that fiber optic to the tower.
So it's running from the tower towards the street, am I right?
Yeah, there's gonna be an additional connection here.
And now, as I can see it now, the only issue now, would they let us run later on water lines or electrical lines or things like that? That's the next issue. I know, like, whenever you put a sewer line, you can run water, but it has to be above it. Or if you run underneath, it has to be a certain distance to where eventually the sewer, if it ever breaks, it's not going to contaminate the water. But even though it's in case, but still, that's a provision they have. How are we going to be able to build underneath it? I mean, not build, but profit more than. Because, I mean, I can see there, we're not going to build anything else around there. But we manage to profit on.
Yeah, actually, on the stipulations of the easement agreement, it does mention that this area is going to be used specifically just for the easement, for this connection, basically. But I mean, to be quite frank, I mean, that area, we don't have no plans for it right now. We don't foresee anything in the near future where there's going to be a concession stand there or any type of amenity or addition to that area. All the future plans for that area would be more towards the section of the park farther away from the ball field. So that section, I mean, the sprinkler system that's being installed already is being installed inside the actual outfield and more towards the behind third base. That's where we have some piping, and the trenching is already occurring right now, as you might have seen there, and it's not going to affect or go to this area. And the irrigation system is already, that project's already in place, up and running, and the trenching and all that has already been done, and it's not going to go into this area.
I'm not talking about now.
Yeah.
In the future.
Yeah.
My main thing is that, as I can see, we have a sewer easement running across that field. I mean, has to stop you guys from putting the sprinklers.
Yeah.
So the concern is that, let's say, hey, we want to run more lighting that way. Are we going to be able to process it? Or we want, hey, you know what, we need to add a sprinkler system on that side, or we need to add irrigation to that side, and we want to bring it from here because all of our water lines are already running from that side. That's the main thing. Building wise, I don't see any, like, there's no reason to build any buildings where we have restrooms already out there, we already have a kitchen stand out there. And process with other consumers.
Yeah, the easement proposal mentions that we can't. The only thing I would add to that is that the electrical, the lighting is basically a newer system. It was changed not too long ago, so it's basically covering the whole ball field, where we wouldn't have to add any additional electrical for the moment. That field is pretty much lit to a great extent. I mean, the only thing that we might upgrade is the actual system or change the bulbs, but I mean, we wouldn't have to add any electrical towards this area on the near future, or any other amenity that's close to it where we have to cross some type of underground utilities, like plumbing or electrical, anything like that. But I leave it to any comments. I could bring it to the table with the city manager and the project manager for this community development. But it is a good opportunity. I mean, $12,000. I was like, well, I wish it would have been 20 or 25 or more. But as it appears, because of the area, it's an area that we were not really using for any other operation or programming matter. That was taken into consideration, and that was the offer that was brought to the table. And I can always forward or channel any input or comments. We don't have to recommend that it's approved, but the City Council is seeking for comments and input from the Parks and Recreation Commission for their consideration.
I have a consideration here. The city every 10 years, they adopt a new plan for
The vision of the city.
Is it possible that in the contract you guys can stipulate, that this is to revision every 5 or 10 years to actually accommodate what he's saying? What about if the city wants to do something else in the future? Because perpetual, that means that we cannot touch it anymore. Once it's given, that's exactly my point. So not remove the word perpetual. It's come on. T-Mobile, there's a multi-billion company. And,
I think more than anything is the price is reasonable with our city lawyer says, you know what, this is a fair price, I'm for it. It's only other thing I can think of, let's say, eventually we to do something in profit. And I can see if you cut one of those lines, you pretty much turn off pretty much all of them. We use Somerton party. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Because and those lines, you can't just slice it. Once you cut one of those lines, you're replacing the whole stretch of it. And they're not cheap. So that's I can see why they say, you know what, you can't cross. But there's ways for them to protect it. That doesn't happen. That already happened to us in San Arizona. They cut a line that went to the Border Patrol. And to us, we did. It was a hazard. I'm for it. I mean, I don't see any construction like it's not going to keep us from. The park service is doing its service, but just something to consider.
I believe the city manager and community development department have already been in discussions with T-Mobile and negotiations, and this was the proposal by them. I believe, I mean, it's a good situation for the department. It's granted it's going to be reoccurring every year, and for us it's going to help the skate park project. I mean, that funding might help to extend the slab, add some additional features to it and all that, and we're trying to basically build a preliminary design right now, which we're going to share with the community in an open house, either virtual or in-house if possible. But all the materials that are going to go into it are related to the outreach that was already done with the community, the request. We're basically going to stretch it as much as possible, the funding, and start with an initial investment and then add to it. And hopefully this funds would help every year to add amenities to it, or to Joe Munoz for the fact that I, as a department director, trying to concentrate on that part because it needs a lot of help. And it wouldn't hurt for the basketball court, I'd say, for next year, get additional funding, maybe add some lighting to it and start adding more amenities. That's our 5 cents to this item. Any other comments or input, Mr. Duran?
No, I don't have any. All of you guys are having a really valid point. I don't have any right now.
As far as construction build out, I noticed that their easement ends by where that I think it's not Orchid Street, isn't it? Orchid Street Apartments. And do they already have a fiber pedestal there, or are they going to use the ATS easement to run fiber there? And I'm only asking, are they going to trench and maybe destroy some of our walking paths right there? Or, because they got to get fiber out there somewhere. And
my question is
it already coming from that
complex, which I would kind of doubt since it's an
older complex? Or how are they going to run fiber from Somerton Ave to that easement area? This is just a construction question. I mean, should we expect that they're going to tear up some
more items, or?
No additional excavation or anything like that is being requested besides the portion behind the field. And the sidewalk is pending. That would be an additional project aside from this easement. And as Mr. Commission Vice Chair Sasueta mentioned, it's not a fair situation if we use that funding for it. So this would be separate. That's something that I'm gonna look into, so just to make sure it gets done on a separate basis.
No, I'll look at the pictures. I think they don't see back then.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been going to that site pretty frequently, and yeah, it needs help. And right now is the time to do it because I mean the park's closed. But it is a tripping hazard and a safety concern.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I guess
combining everyone's comments,
I mean, if that is determined to be a fair price, then
that's fine. Because
the other side to that is just because we're local government entity doesn't mean that major corporations can come in and basically take advantage and give us, basically lowball us just because we're a government entity. But if that is a fair price, then I think then there should be no question on it. And it's only 8 by, what is it,
167?
foot easement there. I mean, sounds giant, but it's long.
This long.
Yeah, it's longer to that little building there on the.
If it was wider, then maybe there'd be more concern. But I mean, at this point, I guess what are you seeking from the commission? Is it to?
At this point, I would seek just a recommendation for council to review and take into consideration. Before they commit to anything or approve this easement.
I guess the recommendation is clear. Let's review the price, the 12,000, because it's only one deal only, 1 year or one payment. Am I right?
I believe this would renew every year. That's the usual with easements, but I would have to double check that.
I think once you grant an easement, it's whatever you agree, unless you agree, you know what, we're gonna make payments on it this one. Once you said it's an easement, those easements, you can't take them back.
No.
That's what I'm saying. It's review negotiate the price. If it's,
the price. The price we wouldn't be able to negotiate or use for something else. I mean, in the sense of that it's gonna, the 12,000 is gonna reoccur every year.
Inaugural is giving the city 12,000 every year.
Every year.
Then that changes.
That's
then that changes.
Because I thought it was, you said once.
Yeah, to my understanding, it's every year. I can confirm that.
Okay, that's
That's
different.
a total
And then
thing,
the next question is, okay, that money gonna be allocated for.
Parks and Rec.
It would be in Somerton,
Yeah.
as well as the local area.
It could be any part, but as long as it's, I mean, they don't take the money and start using it for.
For something
Put a
else.
logo on our new water tank or stuff like that.
No, if this, I mean, 12,000 per year, then hey.
Yeah.
10 years is
Yeah,
120,000.
the usual, the easement is it's in a yearly renovation kind of deal.
Okay.
So at this point, I think the major items would be that the cracked sidewalk. They need to fix it. And then the other portion would be I thought that funding, the $12,000 not go into city general fund and actually be allocated to Parks and Rec. Use that Parks and Rec's discretion, so that it doesn't go into another city department or some off-the-wall project or idea that sometimes come up. Because yes, our parks are in dire need of some TLC, especially Joe Muñoz, which is one of our flagship parks, and it's unfortunate that it's been in decay for several years. But it is coming up. Your staff has been bringing life back into it, and hopefully these funds will assist in future projects. So I think those are the main discussion points at this point, unless there's additional items.
No, that's not really concerned with that, but they actually cost for it to fix at that time, not at all.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's hard for them to come back. If we don't say, you know what, we have to fix this, it's not gonna get done. I mean, we see it on the, when we do walkthroughs of theater work, we always hold money from them. Because, until everything is done, they don't get the full amount. If once you say, okay, it's okay, and here's the money, you can come back next week, they're not coming back. That's the bottom line.
Good points. I mean, I'm going to bring this up to the city manager's attention and for the consideration, I believe. If it's a renewable payment or allocation to the city, and the funds would be allocated to our department, I believe it's a good win-win situation for us, and of course take care of the repairs for the cement slab, and we would basically have to redo that whole area, a good portion of about 15 or 20 feet or so. So that's what I believe we're in agreement. Sounds good. Any further questions on the easement for Joe Munoz?
I think that concludes the discussion portion. Those were the only recommendations from the commission.
Okay. Thank you.
Moving on to item number 3, update on the community give back activity 2020 scheduled for December 17th, 2020. Commissioner Vasquez.
As far as we know right now, by Vice Chair Honorario Sosueta, we have 40 items collected plus 2 that I have, and
Plus 4 that I have.
and you have 4, so that's 46. Plus 1 that we have there, 47.
And so we actually, I give the green light to Mr.
Parks and Rec's director to actually order 50 vouchers at Little Caesars. And this is just in case if we receive any other donation. And just in case if we don't,
then 2 weeks ago, I actually spoke to Mr. The person that donated us the baseball equipment. Some of those items,
they were kind of brand new.
Some of them actually still have a label.
Okay, so we can get, he directed the staff to see if we can actually get at least 3 or 5 brand new equipment from there just to complement the 50 items.
So with that in mind, then we're ready to actually pass the vouchers tomorrow as soon as possible to the principals of the school. Mr.
Olivario, he will take care of 2 schools. Will be Tierra del Sol and Esther Sonora.
And I will
I will take care of my daughter's school, Mr. Munoz and Mr. Moreno.
And I'm still actually waiting for a call from the principal
from the Orange Grove, because of the fact that I wasn't sure when we're gonna have the vouchers ready.
So it was, but still seems to be okay, and we're ready to fly.
Now the question is, do we continue with the plans that we had actually announced, which is at the
Munoz Park
from 5 to 7?
Okay, or Mr. Sosueta has
Another idea, which
I think it's a good idea, but I'd rather go for the original plan that was
actually passed them at the Joe Munoz.
If you have you send us or Gregorio was it, that they have the table and whatever we need there to pass the ball. So everything is taken care of at this point. My only concern was we have the
vouchers.
As far as I know, we may have them now ready. All right, you ordered them.
Yeah, I requested the 50 vouchers. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What Francisco was touching on is that another thing we could do is take those balls and the pizza vouchers to the school and have the school itself give them out.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I see a little more easier that way is because if we're trying to give them a voucher, so that means the parent or would have to go to the school because nobody's going to be at the school, and none of the students, very few students are actually going to school.
Mm-hmm.
So if they already have to go there, might as well have them there for them and take them up. One of the principals from there's one that said that would be great, and I can even take pictures of us handing out the balls. So, I mean, it will save a few trips for the parents. I mean, we can leave for options. I'm still waiting to hear from CBS. I'm sure that works. If it's easier. Because talking to the CBS principal, it is they can't really give out any names. They can't really give out any information to any of the students. The only thing they will be able to do is hand out the voucher, give them this, and present and show it to us when they come and pick up their
The same thing with both the principals, Mr. Munoz and Mr. Moreno. They were very, very, very open-minded into helping us, and they thought it was a great idea. So, the vouchers. But I like also when we was having this conversation, Mr. Saswet and I, having if we don't feel that we're ready for tomorrow to actually have for the people to show up, why not then give to the schools the voucher and the balls, and let the principals actually, because the situation right now is if we can avoid a contact with people, that's one. Okay, and if the school is willing to help us, pack those vouchers and the toys, number one, the schools will feel appreciated because they're reaching out to the community, and through us, we're actually making that possible. So it's a win-win situation. Definitely my recommendation will go for actually give the schools, if it's okay with you, the vouchers and the balls, okay, and let them. Because one of the things that I told both principals is you don't have to give us any names. Since I do work for schools, I know how they work. So no names. You use your own discretion as long as you think it's the most needed family in the town, and that's it. And they say, yeah. And they're waiting for me no later than 1 o'clock tomorrow.
Yeah, my question was, how is the principal or the school gonna get the voucher to the family tomorrow? That's gonna be a challenge.
No, actually not really, because principals can direct the secretary to actually do that for them. Because they're the ones who actually have the records and everything. So it's just a phone call to some ex-family, and we have a gift for you. Would you like to?
And also in Francisco, even if they can't pick it up tomorrow or Friday, maybe there for them.
Yeah, for them later on.
The school.
Because in following our conversation, the voucher from Little Caesars, it was changed to not. We were requesting at the beginning from certain date to certain date. It's kind of an open voucher now, so it will whenever they feel like changing it. So it could be in January, okay, when they come back from school. Imagine a kid that didn't have a gift, and they know they have something in school. This is for you. I nominate one of my students to actually get in a raffle in the school for his success maker goal. He reached certain goal, whatever. Oh my God, that kid was extremely happy, very joyful to just grab a little. It was a Hershey chocolate bar like this big, this $1.59 and little goodies. But he was very, very, very grateful that he received that on behalf of the school and behalf of the teachers. So I was like, oh, but you deserve it. So I can see, the kids, having kind of a surprise. And believe it or not, right now, there's kids. I mean, I believe just in Somerton Middle School, we have like 70 kids attending school right now. Okay, because we have the special ed department that they're actually going and taking care of that. Then there's students in the library, there's students in the cafeteria, there's students in the classroom. They're following the the rule of no more than, right now, there's no more than 5 students per teacher. Okay, and but there is kids actually going in attendance. So even right there, if the principal says, you know what, you've been doing a wonderful job and whatever, it's because kids they don't have a good internet or they don't have internet at home. So that tells me that they need that extra help.
That's right. That's right. Well, so then tomorrow we're not going to do it at the Joe Munoz Park, then, right?
If that's what you choose. I'm for it. I'm actually for the Joe Munoz. I mean, come on, it's good PR for all of us, but due to the circumstances, I don't know what the rest of you think.
Yeah, at this point, I think we need to identify it because the city is providing resources, so we need to make a decision tonight.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
We know what direction we're going, especially since the city is on a modified schedule and certain things had to be moved around. So we need to identify it tonight.
I'll go for the route of taking the balls, the equipment to the school. Just make it easier on the school itself, and make it easier on
the city.
All the extra work, because once we set up the tent and everything, they're gonna have to come back and take it down and put it away. And like I said, and they'll be there. If for some reason the student couldn't go get them that tomorrow or Friday, then the principal and the secretary already know, hey, we have 3 balls left over that we need to hand out. That's really the case. And then if for some reason say, you know what, we can't, I don't want it, they have somebody else already in mind. Instead of here for us waiting for them and they don't show up.
It'll be,
I would like to make a motion to distribute the balls to the schools and have them help us distribute it to their needy students. Hopefully cutting down on logistics for tomorrow afternoon.
May I make a recommendation in
your motion? Also the vouchers for the pizza.
Yes, that would be make a motion to take the pizza vouchers and the sport equipment to the schools for the help distribution.
I second the motion.
Okay, I have a motion to distribute the sports equipment and pizza vouchers to schools directly for handouts. I have a second. I will put it to vote. All those in favor signify with an aye.
Aye.
Those opposed signify with the nay.
Ayes have it. Motion carries and is approved as stated.
I just want to say thank you for the faith and
Sasweta for pulling this. I don't know how you managed to collect so many balls and.
You guys are gonna find out right now. It's one of our. This is a good friend of ours, but it's also she helped. This business always helps us out. We don't even have to ask. She always reaching out with our teams. Honestly, I mean, if we're gonna have a tournament once a day, I don't even tell her about it. She hears it, and here comes out. Here's a check for you guys to help you guys out. And this time I did reach out to her and said, hey, this is what we're trying to do, and I just want to see if you can help. And said, sure, I'll call you back. And like an hour later, it's like, I can give you 25 balls. She said, thank you. And I said, and she said, do you need anything else? And I said, oh, that's great. And said, I also have a turkey. And that's what I named the turkey. So we have a turkey to raffle out to those kids. We can, I don't know, whichever way you guys want to do it. Give a number, or we can pick a school to give it, and that school can pick whoever they want to give it to. Probably the easier way. But so shortly she'll bring the balls, and actually she ended up buying 5 more balls.
Oh.
And then, like I said, that's it. They were wonderful with it. Their company is VA Glen Bike Club. They're here from Somerton. They live here for Somerton forever. Their business has been running out of here Somerton forever. So they're always helping.
What's the name of the?
It's D.A. Glenn White Park. She'll show up. She's gonna bring the equipment. I asked her if she can bring the equipment. That way we can get a picture of her or get the equipment and we can do a little bit more for them. You probably never heard about this business, but if you go to just about any restaurant, they pick up all their grease, their lard, and everything. And what they do, they process it, they clean it up, and they restock it. That's something else. So, that's one other business. They do other things. But that's you're gonna see the black kind of big cans out there outside the restaurant. That's that.
Wow.
And the reason I asked her to bring them is because she doesn't like to come in the pictures, but at least we have the equipment here to take a picture behind the city logo and do a little bit to our film. That family's big. They're
Well, thank you very much, and also Jesus Cervantes for being there with me outside. It was a freezing cold evening, and for 2 hours we were just standing. We had a good moment together, and I appreciate you. And we saw some suspicious activity going on there. People stopping by, checking out the trash can that was right there. They say, what? So we had nothing else to do. We only had one, but it was a good learning experience, and I think we're gonna be making a lot of people happy, including our schools. You know, the principals know that there is need, and it was incredible. For example, with Munoz, he was like, "Oh, jump on board, and how can I help you?" Yeah, for sure. Tell me what happened. Mr. Moreno, the same thing. And with Orange Grove, I guess I was surprised. The principal saying, "We like, remember when I call you and I said leave me a message and send me an email." It was hard for me to follow up there because I didn't know. We were kind of in the limbo to see how many we could actually pull together. Because she was asking for numbers, how many, so you don't have to give us any names, nothing. I said it's free, there's no attachments to it. We just wanted to give back to our community. That's basically it. And I haven't heard from that principal, but I will follow them. If not, Mr. Munoz and Mr. Moreno will be more than happy to say, I can give me 20. I mean, give me as many as you want. They have students anyways in the campus, and they have the students who cannot afford internet. That tells me that there's a need right there. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Moving on to item number 4, update best holidays family picture contest activity. Mr. Mesa.
Good evening, Commission Chair, Vice Chair members. This is Metro Participation Director. This is an activity that I'm happy to present. As I mentioned, it was in discussion I believe 2 meetings ago, and now it's in the works. The deadline is this Friday. I just want to mention a few important requirements for this contest. It's going to be the best family holidays picture contest. And this is going to take place virtually. The graphic designer from the city, which Vanessa Icubida, is going to take care of receiving the pictures, and it's going to be a virtual contest and competition because it's going to be based on likes. So all the pictures you get, we're going to post them in our social media, and it's going to be a likes contest. We're just trying to promote the holiday spirit, and we're going to keep it local. So it's going to be that money has to stay here in Somerton. It's going to be $500 for the first place winner. The second place is going to be $250, and third place is going to be $100. We're trying to just promote the holiday spirit at the same time, help out a family. any type of support, especially emotional and of course economic. It's not going to hurt, and it's not going to create a financial burden for the department at this moment. So we went with it, and it's going to be the deadline this Friday. I invite the commission, invite the family, friends, colleagues, but they have to be Somerton residents, and it has to be, of course, family-oriented picture, and they have to send a proof of residency, which is basically a utility bill or something like that, alongside the picture. That's about it. I mean, it started. We posted this on Friday, and it's the deadline is this Friday at noon.
Geez, everything is so fast.
Yeah, we had to do it a little bit quick because I mean next week is a short week, so we had to process the check and all that before basically Christmas. We gave it a week. We've received about 10 pictures at the moment, so it's going pretty well for the usual virtual activity. Of course, there's some incentives in the middle, but I mean it's all for the families and for the promoting the holiday spirit, and of course, it's more of a cultural activity. The recreation is overseeing this because they oversee the cultural division.
We've had 10 people so far.
Yeah, so far about 10 participants.
In a week.
And it's been a couple of days, about 4 or 5 days. It's Friday.
I'm sorry. Really low.
Yeah, for something that there's good incentives. I mean, $500.
That's a lot of money.
It's a good
For like
change for a family. Yeah, especially right now in this situation, the holidays, everybody needs some help and additional any type of bonus or hazard pay like the city approved yesterday for the employees.
really?
Doesn't hurt. Yeah. So, I mean, basically just want to provide an update that it did happen, and it's happening in a virtual manner and in a manner which we're able to help the families economically to a certain point. I mean, at least for some utilities, some gifts, or just for their own sake. It's going to be based on a check. It's not going to be in cash, similar to what we do with the donations. So they have to go through the process of request. We have to request a check, the procurement policies, and all that, and just have the check ready before the Christmas. It would be next Wednesday, next week.
Mm-hmm. So can we actually submit a picture of the family?
Yes, you can submit a picture. Yeah, we're limiting to only Somerton residents, and it's not going to include Parks and Recreation Department staff. But it's open to city employees also. They have to be residents.
That's good.
I don't know if you have any comments. I mean, at this point, I mean, we're seeking just support from the commission to help out, promote, and get more participation.
I would say for recommendations for next time,
Yeah.
like make some big poster right in front of City Hall.
Yeah.
Think talk about for like maybe a whole month.
Yeah.
The month of December. So that all the residents that walk around or sit in the park area, they all see.
Sure.
So then not everybody has the
Facebook. Yeah.
I don't know how's our age, because I have some of my friends on Facebook say, if I don't see anything from them, if I don't look for anything from them, I don't see it. Even though they're posting new stuff. But if you put it in the story, I know it only runs for 1 day, but everybody can see it. That's how I see most of my friends that I don't keep much in touch with, what they're doing. If they add it to the story, but if they're just posting stuff on Facebook, and they're not something that I usually go to, and I don't see it.
Or wait, which case is you're right.
I have Out about that, where we run across an issue sometimes is that some of the posts
Or just reshares from the city.
Parks and Rec. I can't create a story based on it because it's a repo.
So I would have to
Not to say that it's not possible.
pull whatever video or infographic that's been presented and create it as a story. But it just depends how.
I just did mine. I just opened our page and shared some stories. So I'm just saying that story, people see it more than anything. So it's a new algorithm.
So it is possible. In the past, I know Commissioner Escalante
had an issue because Facebook
does use that
algorithm to determine
who you want to see, who you don't want to see. You can always fix it manually, but we don't want people to start choosing who they want to see in their
print stream.
But it is something we can look at because we do share a lot of, actually almost every single post that
Parks and Rec posts. And the city.
The only ones that we don't necessarily post are maybe repeats
or stuff that's not really directly related to parks. But if it has to do with COVID precautions, funding items, it usually does have a repost. But yeah, we can definitely look into that. I do have all sorts of
alarms that pop up when new items come up, whether it's a live video from Visa or a reshare, and it just go on our page. But yes, definitely, I can take a look at the story portion and see if I can maybe automate that. A lot of
automation occurs in the background. I just need to know what
they want me to do. Because it'd be impossible to just sit there and try to reshare every single thing that comes up.
Yeah, what we can do tomorrow is just boost it. It's not too expensive. That's something that we haven't done. We'll boost it at least tomorrow, and then it'll come up a lot more during the day. Hopefully get some, because a lot of families already have some pictures when they were installing their lights or putting up their tree or anything that has related to the season. Or when they went to a tree lighting event, and that's not a bad picture to have with that site. And we're just going to take into account the likes. We're not going to do any kind of voting. So it's going to be pretty much very diplomatic, and it's going to be more of a social culture activity.
Yeah, and I mentioned it to Commissioner Vasquez when we were out there.
Our sports equipment event, our posting actually was one of our biggest viewed and shared documents that we've had since our page went live. It was shared just under 1,300 times, so it did go out there. Most of it has to do based on when we like it and when we reshare it to our friends. And I've seen it propagate that way using the Big Brother tool that Facebook has. Our audience keeps growing every single time. So any recommendations that come up regarding the social media aspect of it, let me know. We are slated to update our website too, sometime in January, early February. That was approved a few months back. I've been creating a draft, so that'll be coming down the line as well. But yes, anything that the city needs from us, by all means, reach out to our social media, and then we can share the word out there. But as I mentioned, everything that pops up usually gets shared within a minute or two, even the live videos.
Yeah, that's basically what I have for this item. It's a good activity. I mean, we're seeking some another arts and crafts activity, basically, where we had complications due to COVID, shooting the video and working with our art person. So that we couldn't do it basically because of COVID, and I just decided to go away from that. Don't expose the staff to unnecessary risk. We're just gonna hopefully starting the new year do something for Valentine's or something like that. Starting the new year, something related to arts and crafts.
Also, it would be a good idea to actually go live on a video and thank the community, and
you can mention the
sponsor that we got for this activity. You know, just to say thank you to our schools, to different people that actually put the time and the effort to make this possible. The holiday ball drive that we had actually
No.
Just to say, probably,
I'll
I'll talk to you later.
No.
We can have something.
either from our chair or myself or from Olegario, either of the three, you know, just say thank you to the community, because it's not just my idea, it's not just his idea, it's all of us. And
That wouldn't be a problem. We could schedule something with a graphic designer and she record some type of video, something casual, not too.
like Halloween, remember?
No.
You know, I just thank you very much for your help. That's basically.
Yeah. Yeah, we can coordinate something for next week and something.
I'll be free the whole.
Yeah.
My principal is recommending us to do nothing for the next 2 weeks. Just chill.
My word, I don't have very, I'll be outside.
Yeah.
We don't stop working.
No. Yeah, so that's about it for this one. There's no further comments here.
Getting hungry. Yes.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Moving on to item number 5, is
Discussion on inaugural elections for commission chair, vice chair, and secretary and historian positions. We did create and approve our bylaws earlier this year to kind of dictate our elections process, terms in office, and how it would go about. We do have a commission member who is remotely.
our bylaws do state that we
We would do a secret vote, but we can also do a roll call vote if that
that
is
is fine with everybody here.
here and Commissioner Duran.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So to initiate the process, I'll open up the floor for nominations for our first,
Which will be
for the seat of chairperson. Do you have any nominations for chairperson? And don't be afraid to nominate yourselves. There's no rule against that.
I would like to nominate Mr. Cervantes for the for chair.
Oh, this is just a nomination.
nomination.
Oh, sorry,
There's
sorry.
no motion. I nominate
Mr. Cesueta for chair. So,
Because in that note, as this is going to be my last week.
What?
I have two things going on at home that need to be taken care of. So I'm not saying goodbye forever, but I do need a few months. Hopefully this summer I can approach you guys and hopefully you guys let me back in. But so I just want to put that out.
okay, I strike my nomination for Commissioner Cesueta.
nominate Commissioner Vasquez.
Thank you.
Do I have any other nominations on the floor for chairperson?
Chairperson.
Hearing none, I'll close the nomination portion for chairperson and we'll move on to vote. This will be a roll call vote. Once your name is mentioned, please state your preferred candidate. We'll start in our attendance roster. So I vote for Mr. Vasquez. Commissioner Cesueta? Commissioner Vasquez?
I guess I will try. Yeah. Go back.
Commissioner Duran?
I have internet problems. I'll vote for Mr. Vasquez.
Mr. Vasquez?
Yes.
And
Commissioner Israel.
For Mr. Vasquez.
okay, I have 4 for Commissioner Vasquez and 1 for Commissioner Cervantes. Mr. Vasquez has been elected Commission Chairman
for the Parks and Recreation Commission
for starting on the first meeting of January 2021. Congratulations, Mr. Vasquez.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Moving on, I'll open the floor for nominations for Vice Chairman.
I would like to nominate Jesus Cervantes as a vice chair.
I have one nomination.
For Commissioner Cervantes for Vice Chair.
I'd like to nominate Commissioner Israel
For
for Vice Chair.
Any other nominations?
From our commission members.
No.
Okay, I'm closing the nomination portion and moving on to the election portion. Once again, this will be a roll call vote. Once your name is mentioned, please state your preferred candidate. This is for the position of Vice
Chairman. So
for Commissioner Cervantes. Vote for Commissioner Israel. Commissioner Zazueta. Commissioner Vasquez.
Mr. Cervantes.
Commissioner Duran.
Mr. Cervantes.
And Commissioner Israel. We still have a tally, 4 for Commissioner Cervantes and 1 for Commissioner Israel. Commissioner Cervantes is your new Vice Chairman, to be effective the first meeting of January 2021.
finalizing our
elections portion, I am opening up the floor for nominations for our secretary and historian. Do we have any nominations?
I do.
I would like to nominate Joanna Esco.
Do I have any other nominations on
the floor.
Okay, seeing none, we'll go ahead and close nominations. We only have one nomination for secretary and historian. It is for Commissioner Ezra. Seeing as there are no contenders for the position, if Commissioner Ezra accepts, she will be our new historian and secretary. Do you accept the role of secretary and historian, Commissioner Ezra?
I guess all I need to know is what am I doing? What's my responsibility? Make sure I can do it. I don't know if it's supposed to.
I'll talk to you.
Don't make me talk in public like this.
Exactly
But I'm going to do it.
So thank you everybody who participated. Your newly elected officers are chairman will be Mr. Francisco Vasquez,
Vice Chairman, Mr. Jesus Cervantes,
and historian and secretary, Ms. Joanna Erzerol. Congratulations, and as I mentioned, you will take office
the first meeting of January 2021.
and run through December 2021.
Thank you.
Everybody. That concludes our officer elections.
Moving on,
We'll move on to current events update and recommendations for agenda items for next meeting by commission chairman, commission members, and or Parks and Recreation staff or director. We'll start off with Commissioner Israel.
Just need to wrap up, what's needed for tomorrow. You guys are going to take care of it.
Yeah.
Do we need to do anything, like, help out any other way?
What do you mean?
For the ball, drop off or whatever is needed. And you guys, I know that you guys are working on that. The school year divided it, but is there anything else you need from us support-wise?
No, I don't know.
The ball dropped off here in a little bit. So, I'll take the people that I talked to, and take this in the morning, and then I'll stop by and get this voucher and the pizza voucher. So in the morning, I don't know what time would they be available.
The vouchers can be available in the mornings because the manager was gone.
Can you help us with the copies of the
Yeah, sure. I can print them right now.
Like a little nicer paper, like maybe paper paper, something. I mean, it's a little recognition for the student as well. So.
Yeah, something for.
I don't know if you can still be modified, just a little bit, maybe leave a space for the kids' names to be on it or something like that. Even as it is, I mean, you could still put it right there in the, right above, you know, so that's fine. But a little better quality paper.
Yeah, so the vouchers will be sealed, am I right? They will
have something like this.
No? It's just whoever. Okay. Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, you got it. Yeah. It's like the little, I mean, the one that schools actually give to students for round table, not round table, the other one, the not Pizza Hut, the Little Pipers. Yeah, I see what you say. Okay.
Yeah, actually, the vouchers can be made. They're handy from Little Caesars. They're the ones they use.
Yeah. No, what here's referring is you can modify a little bit this, have it ready for tomorrow as soon as possible for us to actually collect and give it to the schools.
I'm fine with that. Just like that way it is, and I can ask the principal the
under
cost is 50.
Yeah, I have actually 5 right here. So
no, we want better paper.
and there's
Do you have card stock available? That's what they're asking, card stock.
Yeah, I can double check to we have some. I can call you.
Yeah, so
we'll get 20 and 10 for 2 schools, and you want me to get 10. Okay. So 50 and
Please have them ready as soon as possible, and then let us
call us, and we'll go from there.
And you know what? In Glenn, the one bringing the balls is actually a teacher for something else. So she will be able to take 10 balls in. But I mean, yeah.
Hey, Ms. Munoz is waiting for me at lunch.
No, I mean, I want to take them as early as possible. So when you tell me, I have the pizza voucher ready.
I wanted to.
I'll come by and pick them up, and I'll go drop off the.
Yeah, my first class starts at 9:10, so I want to do it actually before 9:10, to actually have them pass into our principals. And no, the thing is, if you want to go with me, that's fine. I mean, give a little bit more. Oh, your work.
Yeah,
okay.
No, I was asking for like anything I could do like tonight.
You're gonna help us unload the ball and put them back into our
Yeah, in the car. I do have to unload my car to someone's car. Yeah, but anything else.
So we'll bring the equipment in here, and then we'll put them out, take pictures. I'll get the ones that I have myself. And
so you have a picture for your Facebook. You're managing the Facebook for our commission, am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Perfect.
I don't think that's
okay.
Right.
So that gives me time to actually go and grab my 2 balls. I have 2 balls, and you have yours in the car too. Mm-hmm.
So
we're still going through the furniture.
That's something we need to work on.
any items, Commissioner Sotota? Commissioner Vasquez?
I just want to say, Commissioner Sotota, that
working with you and knowing you has been a pleasure, and
I'm glad that we
pulled this together. And also, when you help us with the start of the month and being there, and
that tells me how small Somerton is.
We're still a community that we're working together. So
I wish you the best.
And thank you for all you did for the commission. And yes, definitely there is a spot. I don't know if we're gonna go through this loophole. It's gonna take months.
Like
you apply in July and then you get it until next year. We're gonna make things easier for you. Yeah, no, but thank you. In a personal note, thank you for for giving me the opportunity of working with you and wish you the best and happy Merry Christmas to you and your family. And as I said on the phone, I'm glad that you are out of that situation that you were now.
Commissioner Duran?
None at this time. Thank you.
And then I do have 2 items. One will be the social media update. And then the second one will be a discussion item as far as our current vacant seats for commission members.
We have, with the departure of
Commissioner Zazueta this evening, we'll have 5 open seats
on the commission.
Initially, we were, I believe, 7, but then City Council voted to bring it up to 9 because at the time we had lots of interest, but that interest seemed to have maybe fizzled out
according to previous staff.
But nonetheless, we do have 5 official positions open. There was a position that was vacated by Commissioner Escalante, Commissioner Shore, the current ones, Commissioner Calderon, tonight's Commissioner Zazueta, and Gonzalo, forget his name, his last name. Yeah, we've had those positions open for some time now. I think that should be a discussion item for next meeting to see how we can get it off the ground again. Commissioner Rizzo?
Yeah, so has the city done anything in recruitment wise for these positions? Like what's our game plan for that? Because I think we need to coordinate with them on that. I know that, I mean, when I was appointed, I know I had to speak in front of the city, members and tell them, that I wanted to join and why. So I don't know, hasn't been happening lately. Like I don't know. Like what can you update us on that?
On the recruitment, I mean, what we can do is start promoting and do some outreach. At least start with a flyer. That's something that we haven't done. And the process, I think it would be the same process that's established already by the commission. To be a member and actually, solicit, to be part of this commission. But if we could start with flyers to start the New Year's and do some outreach for just advising the public of the 5 open seats, that would be my recommendation.
Yes, I think we advertise that.
Aside from that, I have no
other items. Mr. Mesa, any items from?
Yes, I would like to add 2 items. One, to provide an update on the recreational programs, and another item to provide an update on special events, the plans and updates for 2021.
Thank you. There are no other items on our agenda. I now conclude our meeting at 7:27 p.m. Thank you, everybody, and hopefully everybody has a good holiday coming up. And we'll see you guys January 2021.
2021, wow.